there are places that do not seem to have been made for arrival, but for staying. Reine emerges this way, like an ancient thought that resists the noise of the world, set between abrupt mountains and a sea that never fully settles. Here, isolation is not absence, it is continuous presence, an invisible layer that wraps each red house, each wooden walkway, each window facing the fjord. Silence is not empty. It has weight, it watches, it accompanies. In Norway, there are many places where the landscape dominates the eye, but in Reine, it also governs time, decides the rhythm of decisions, and imposes a specific way of existing. The mountains seem to fall into the sea not as a geographic accident, but as a deliberate gesture, reminding daily that everything here is a limit of land, of sound, of movement. Living at this extreme point is accepting that the world does not revolve around you. It simply passes by, slowly, while you learn to stay.
The territory here does not welcome, it tests. The road that arrives is thin, almost a provisional line over the icy water, as if it could disappear with any change in the weather's mood. In the Lofoten Islands, isolation does not come only from distance, but from the constant feeling of standing at the edge of something larger, older, and indifferent. The wind cuts gestures short before they are completed. The cold reorganizes the body, and the horizon, always open, never promises escape. There is no rush in Reine because there is nowhere to run. The mountains surround the village like walls without doors, and the sea, though vast, offers no easy path, only depth and repetition. Isolation seeps into the days like a silent rule. Everything requires preparation. Everything demands attention. Here, every movement is a decision. Every visit, a rare event. The territory teaches, slowly, that staying is not passivity, but a form of quiet resistance, shaped by a space that allows no distraction.
Dawn arrives slowly, as if it too needs courage to cross the cold. Light does not invade, it insinuates itself, sliding along the dark slopes of the mountains and touching the sea with a restrained, almost respectful glow. There are no hurried alarms, no signs of urgency. The human rhythm here adjusts to what is possible, not to what is desirable. The first hours of the day are made of small gestures. A door opening without noise, careful steps on damp wood, the vapor of breath announcing presence before the voice. Isolation turns time into a dense substance. Each minute seems to last longer because nothing pushes it forward. The day begins when the body accepts the cold, when the eyes adjust to the bluish half-light, when silence ceases to be strange and becomes companionship again. Dawn, in this place, is not a beginning, it is continuity, a calm confirmation that the night has passed and everything has remained exactly where it should be.
Work does not separate from life. It runs through it with the same naturalness as the cold that slips through the cracks. Here, doing is continuing. Hands learn early to measure the weight of the day, to recognize the exact moment to go out, to wait, to retreat. There is no excess because the environment allows no waste of energy or intention. Each task carries a silent, almost ritual attention, repeated so many times that it becomes bodily memory. Isolation sharpens gestures. Nothing is automatic. Everything asks for presence. The sound of the sea dictates invisible pauses. The wind redefines plans without warning. Working in this place is accepting instability as a rule, understanding that producing also means protecting, preserving, respecting a rhythm that does not belong to man. At the end, when the day withdraws, there is no loud celebration, only the discreet feeling of having crossed one more day without breaking the delicate agreement between human effort and territory.
The paths in Reine do not lead to many places, but they connect everything that matters. They are short, narrow passages,
shaped more by necessity than by planning, where each step seems to confirm the choice to stay. Walking here is an act of attention. The ground may slip, the wind may change, the silence may suddenly thicken. There are not many casual encounters. When someone appears on the path, their presence is acknowledged without haste, almost with gratitude. Isolation turns connection into a conscious gesture, never an automatic one. Short distances amplify the value of movement, turning the simple crossing of the village into a moment of observation. The sea accompanies every route, always alongside, always reminding that there is no easy escape. Each path reaffirms the outline of the place and the outline of those who inhabit it. To connect here is not to expand networks, it is to keep alive the few threads that sustain daily life.
The voices in Reine do not impose themselves. They remain. They linger in repeated gestures, in long pauses before an answer, in the way certain stories are always told halfway. Memory does not live in organized archives, but in the body that knows when the sea changes, in the gaze that recognizes winter before the snow falls. Isolation ensures that the past does not drift away. It circulates discreetly among the houses, accompanies the work, observes the silence. There are memories that never became words, only habits passed on without explanation, as if explaining would break something fragile. Old voices echo in the intervals of the day, in objects used until they lose their original shape, in routines that survive because they work. Here, remembering is not a nostalgic act. It is a form of orientation. What has been lived continues to guide what still happens, without haste to be replaced.
Food is born from the same silence that shapes the day. Nothing arrives without crossing cold, wind, and waiting. Preparing is a slow, attentive gesture, made to last longer than the instant of hunger. Isolation teaches that eating is not consumption, but continuity, of work, of the sea, of memory. Kitchens hold old aromas mixed with warmed wood and steam that rises without haste, as if it knows no one is rushing it. Sharing happens without announcement, almost out of mutual necessity. A dish passed along carries the confirmation that someone was there, that the day was endured. There is no ostentatious abundance, but there is sufficiency built with care. Food binds people to the territory directly, without intermediaries, reminding that survival here depends on respecting the rhythm of the place. In the end, silence returns to the table, not as absence, but as a sign of agreement. Today, it was enough.
Time here does not move in a straight line. It turns, returns, insists. The seasons are not a backdrop, but active forces that rewrite daily life without asking permission. In winter, light becomes rare and precious, and days seem made of concentrated waiting, as if everything were breathing more slowly. In summer, the sun that never sets disrupts sleep and stretches the hours, creating a strange sense of continuous presence. Isolation amplifies these changes, turning each transition into a silent trial of adaptation. Nothing remains the same for long, and yet everything is recognizable. The houses endure, the paths reappear beneath melting snow. The sea maintains its constant presence. The body learns to count time by the cold on the skin, by the light on the horizon, by accumulated fatigue. Living here is accepting that time does not serve man. It is man who, season after season, learns to serve time.
Community here does not announce itself. It reveals itself in the calm repetition of days. Few people, few gestures, but constant attention to what happens around them. Isolation reduces the circle, and in doing so, deepens bonds. Everyone knows where the other has been, not through surveillance, but because the shared rhythm leaves visible traces. A light on at an unusual hour, a boat that did not leave, a path that remains empty, everything communicates. Continuity does not depend on grand plans, but on the quiet willingness to keep doing what needs to be done together, even when separated by silence. There is no idealization of the collective, only a clear awareness of interdependence. Here, no one disappears completely because every absence carries weight. Community is sustained not by an excess of encounters, but by the certainty that, when necessary, someone will be there. Remaining together in this place is a choice, renewed every day. In the end, isolation ceases to be a condition and becomes a language. It teaches how to listen to what does not speak, how to measure the value of what remains when everything else recedes. In this place, staying is not a lack of options. It is a conscious choice to inhabit the limit, to accept that the world does not need to be crossed to make sense. The mountains remain immobile, the sea continues repeating its ancient movements, and the village breathes in the interval between them, without trying to occupy more space than it deserves. Time does not accelerate, does not reward, does not explain. It simply continues. And perhaps that is what this place offers, silently. The possibility of a life that does not compete for attention, that does not seek expansion, that is content to exist with precision. To remain here is to learn that what is essential does not grow, does not multiply, does not announce itself. It sustains itself. And in sustaining itself, it reveals that there are other ways of being in the world besides moving forward. Sometimes, staying is the deepest gesture.